ਸੋ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਭਾਈ ਹਰਿਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕਥਾਵਾਚਕ, ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਪ੍ਰੀਚਰ, ਯੰਗਸਟਰਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਰੋਲ ਮਾਡਲ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਥਾਵਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਤੇ ਐਮਫਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਮਫਸਿਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੈਲੀਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ, ਇਹ ਹਰ ਵਾਰ ਇਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਤੇ ਐਮਫਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਆਓ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋ ਸਕੀਏ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਪੀੜ੍ਹੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹੀ ਐਕਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਐਂਡਸ 'ਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹੀ ਧਰਮ ਤੋਂ ਅਲੱਗ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇਕਰ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਸੋਚ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਫੰਡਾਮੈਂਟਲਸ ਵੀ ਖਵਾਏ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਆਓ ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਈਨ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਕਾਇਮ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਏ, ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਧਰਮ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਮਕਸਦ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ। Welcome to the program, Bhai Sahib.
Welcome ji. Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh.
Religion plays a very important role in everyone's life.
Anji.
But in today's materialistic world, what we are finding is, especially with our youngsters, that individualistic approach, that thought that I am the one who knows everything, that is becoming quite predominant. Now, when religion comes into focus, religion is merely a means whereby go to a gurdwara, sit there, listen sometime to Gurbani, come back, of course having langar and coming back, and we have done our religious obligation has been completed. This is one extreme end. Other extreme end, what we are finding is that they are becoming fanatics. They are becoming so much accustomed to what is being said that no, only this is the way or there is no other way. Whereas if you could take us on this journey with your experience, what do you feel? You go and interact with the youth. What kind of questions are coming forward? And what does Guru Granth Sahib say about what is religion as such?
Anji. Well, you know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji said there's many ways, and there's many routes that one can find their own peace. He said, why bow at, there's 64 places of holy places. Why should you bow to the left at this time or bow to the right or north or south and only at 8 p.m. or 10? He said, if God is everywhere, God exists everywhere.
Right.
Therefore, God is always with us. There's no separation. To me, that the teachings that I've been following now with SIkh for 38 years, to me has been a very open and free way of being. That my devotion at the feet of the Guru is to always uplift me and bring me into a better place within myself so that I can give back even more. I don't believe in fanaticism. I believe that one has to follow their heart. And to me, our Gurus have opened our heart. But today there is fanaticism in there that it should only be done this way, only done that way. If you do it this way, then you're on that side or you're on this side. And I think that those are, I think in some ways, that the youth is getting a little fanatic. In some ways good, because better they should be somewhere than nowhere, right? And more of our youth are coming back. But if they come back to this way of life, but it comes back very stiff and very hard, then they'll pull back away again.
Right.
And the second time, third time, they won't come back to us at all. To me, these teachings are free teaching. Why do I come to a Gurdwara? Not only do I leave my shoes at the door when I come into the Gurdwara, I leave my ego. Right. I hang that up as well, right? And I'm coming in to be at the feet of my Guru, to feel that light, that love, listen to the kirtan, to uplift my soul, to have langar, to be with family, to sangat, pangat, Hanji. But if we make it too isolated from others, then it just becomes a ritual, and it doesn't become a way of living. To me, Guru Nanak Dev Ji created a way of life, and he was the one that said no rituals. We've brought no caste systems, no rituals, equality for all people. What have we brought back in?
Right.
But it's an evolving situation.
Right.
That's why, to me, I'm tolerant. Because, I'm very neutral. I go to every Gurdwara, I go everywhere. Because I'm a religious man only. I'm neutral. I don't pick a side. I'm here only to share. What I know in my life is the purity of these teachings.
Right.
And I think that the more openness that we have to learn, what is the power that we have, the Gurbani, the Simran, the Shabad, right? The balance that can give in our lives in a very beautiful way that can bring peace. There's those who have said outside of our faith that our teachings can bring peace to this planet where nothing else can.
Right.
And when our focus is to share, but if we start saying, no, I'm part of this group, I'm part of that group, no, you can only do this, then we're going to factionalize, and our youth are going to become factionalized, and that's going to perpetuate this division that we have in our sangats.
So that perpetuation of differences which are coming forward, and youngsters, they also feel many times threatened, I would say, or kind of submissive to what is happening, and then it continues.
Yes.
So whereas you talked about justice, you talked about equality, you talked about truthfulness, and Guru Nanak Sahib has always emphasized on this particular aspect that truth is high, but higher still is truthful living.
Correct.
So the concept of the truthful livingness, that was the concept which should have been propagated.
Yes.
But with the passage of time, what we are finding is, no doubt, this is the basic fundamental. But the youngsters are not listening to these kind of messages from where they should come, from where we assemble and from where we go, and where we have to get our guidance from. So over the years, when you are going and interacting with the youngsters, what kind of transformation are you finding? Because everyone is hungry for knowing more and more and to follow that footstep. So over here, how do you feel that we need to bring about a change whereby this concept of truthful living is imbibed, is being practiced, and it is becoming a role model also for them, instead of just talking about it?
Well, that's how we live. You know, it's our actions that are going to speak, not our words.
Right.
And the trust has been lost in many in the leadership of the Gurdwaras and the leadership of our Sangats,
Right.
that trust is lost. So we have to work at rebuilding trust and trust in our youth and healing the wounds of the past and allowing the youth to understand. You know, many people will come to me and say, "Are you part of that Sikh religion?" I'll say, "No." They'll say, "But you look like you are." I said, "No, I'm part of a Sikh way of life."
Right.
And that way of life is to always remind me that yes, I have ups and downs. We're human beings. Sometimes I make mistakes. Not everybody loves me, right? But if we walk that path of our heart and our truth at the feet of the Guru, and we put that into our bodies, our spirits, our souls, if we look for ways of finding unity with each other, not the differences, but what are the same, what are those things that we can join together on.
Right.
I talk to our youth, they don't want war, they want peace.
Right.
They don't want politics, they want involvement, right? They want to be inclusive. They are brought up in an inclusive environment, not an exclusive environment.
Right.
If we put them into that exclusive environment, then they don't flourish.
Right.
And then it just perpetuates the same myth within our Sangats that is saying, you know, we don't have a voice, we don't have a voice. This is what I'm hearing our young people.
Right.
We don't have a voice.
Right.
That the leadership is afraid we're going to make too many changes. Yet I tell you, if we look at this youth, they're the most devoted. They can bring the most joy. And it will happen at some point. It has to happen.
Right.
So we have to continue encouraging the youth to follow the teachings.
Right.
Right? Follow don't follow a personality.
Right.
Follow the teaching. Today we're going too much to the personality.
Right.
Right? See? And we have to follow less the personality, we have to follow more the teachings.
Absolutely.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji brought something to this planet that had never been brought or talked about ever before.
Right.
And he began that process. Now, we're a young faith. Hinduism, 5,000 years, Judaism, 5,000, Muslim, whatever, 2,000 years, Christianity, 2,000 years.
Right.
We're very, very young, the world's youngest of the world's faith.
Right.
And no other faith has taken hold, you know, other than those majors
Right.
that have been several thousand plus years, has never taken hold, but teachings of Guru Nanak, Sikh Dharma, Khalsa, has taken hold and become a great world faith. And these teachings shall be known as they are becoming more and more known.
Right.
We have to relate to it. We have to have our youth be ambassadors for it, and those changes will happen.
Thank you, sir. We'll go for a short break, come back, and as you said, we always want someone to do something for us. But as you said, it should begin from the home. What role can the parents play in this? We'll talk about this after this short break. ਭਾਈ ਹਰਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ। ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਅਲੂਫਨੈਸ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਸਕਲੂਸਿਵਿਟੀ ਬਣਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਥ੍ਰੈਟਨ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵੱਲ ਪਾਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਟੀਚਿੰਗਸ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੁੜ ਕੇ जो है ना कि परसोनीफाई करिए किसी चीज़ ਨੂੰ परसनैलिटीज़ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਜੁੜੀਏ, ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਟੀਚਿੰਗਸ ਨਾਲ ਜਦ ਜੁੜਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਟੋਮੈਟਿਕਲੀ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜੁੜਨਗੇ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਾਪੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ।
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ, ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ, ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295।
ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਈ ਹਰਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵਧਾਉਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਸਨੈਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਪੇ ਕੀ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ? ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਟੀਚਿੰਗਸ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਸਕੀਏ। ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। So, Bhai Sahab, what needs to be done from the parents' perspective? How can they play their role? Because we always blame the Gurdwara is not doing this, the community is not doing this is not happening. But we probably forget what our role should be in raising a child.
Yes.
And lots of times when at the right time enough attention is not paid, then later on we regret. And then the children are also out of your control and nothing happens.
Yes.
So please tell us what needs to be done.
Well, you know, there's a saying in English, you know, do as I say, not as I do, right? Parents have to do it. The only way that children will learn and accept and feel comfortable if the parent is at their side.
Right.
If we just dump our children in the Gurdwara, expect them to take care of everything, and then they come home and we're not doing it, there's fighting, there's alcohol, whatever it happens to be, right? That's what message do we give them? And I'm saying again, the home doesn't have to be a fanatic.
Right.
But if we want our children to know what this devotion is, then we as parents have that responsibility to guide them.
Right.
Otherwise, sure, they're going to leave the path or they're going to get involved. There's so much, once they go to these schools, they're out there in the public,
Right.
there's so much that can draw them. Problem is today, I see with a lot of our parents, the kids come home and the younger ones, and what do? They put them in front of the TV set. That becomes their teacher. They
Right.
they feed them with sugar and everything. And then they say, well, you know, help me with my daughter, help me with my son.
Right.
But say, well, you have to live it. You have to be at their side. You have to learn to talk. These young people are very, very smart. These generations evolve. And they know everything. They have internet, they have all
Right.
those things. How do we give them that devotion? They'll only know that devotion if they feel it within us. Because these children, there's a difference. When we were young people, we were taught by command. That
Right.
means that we said, you're going to there, you went. There was no question. You didn't say, no, I'm not. What did we say? No, not. One side blue, other side black, right?
Right.
But these young people, they, well, why should I go?
Right.
Well, you don't go, so why are you sending?
should I? Yeah.
They're like, you know, negotiators, right? But that's the way they are, and they'll learn from that. They'll say, well, if you don't care, why should I? If a parent, if a mother, father doesn't care, then where's the child going to care?
Right.
What values are we going to give them? So we as parents, as mentors and teachers, you know, we can only give our children 4 things. Values, understanding,
Right.
virtues, how to be honest within themselves, purity, to understand that they're God's gift, and piety, to have respect.
Right.
Those are the only 4 things we can give our children. And that's what the Guru has taught us.
Right.
Values, virtues, purity, and piety. If we don't give our children that, parents say, well, I would, but I'm working 3 jobs. And well, that's true, you are.
Right.
But you have children. We're not owned.
It's your responsibility.
It's a responsibility. We don't
Right.
own these children,
Right.
but we give them that guidance. If we guide them to the feet of God, if we guide them to the feet of Guru, if we spend, and I tell some parents, they say, what am I going to do? I say, you know what, even before you have dinner, just go Vaheguru, together as a family. Have the children hear it, have them understand it.
Right.
And it's the same thing in our Gurdwaras and our children's programs. Again, we have to just not tell them the stories, explain to them how we live, what the experience is, what is the science of Sri Guru Granth Sahib,
Right.
what is the technology of these teachings, how can these teachings help them and serve them.
Right.
It's so important. Everything, again, is education. But we get so self-involved that we forget about these kids.
Right.
And that's why they leave, because there's no connection to it.
Right.
If there's no connection to it, how do we expect? Many parents come to me, oh, Bhai Sabji, can you help my kids? What am I going to, wave a magic wand, and they should go?
Right.
I said, no, we can work with them, but you have to take that on. I can't be with them every day. You have to take that on, and that's, our parents have to rise to that occasion.
Right. So over here, of course, you cannot be present, or any preacher cannot be present, but Guru Granth Sahib is
Hanji,
available.
always,
And now the
always.
resources which are there,
Always.
they can be easily, gone through, and you can do
24/7.
anything.
Yes.
But here comes the priority. How much priority are the parents having? Are they more interested in just watching the serials which are coming from India, or they are more interested in focusing on the development of the child? So before we complete this episode, I would like just to know from you some resources which you would like to recommend. Of course, Guru Granth Sahib is an eternal source for us, but there also, if they want to just research and try to find out some material, what would be the best source?
Well, number one, certainly in the Gurdwaras, we have some youth programs in several of the different Gurdwaras here in Surrey and Abbotsford and Vancouver that are helping these children a lot.
Right.
And other resources, be careful where the children go on the internet, right? There are good resources, SikhNet, other good Sikh sites out there now where they can have access to things and get information and forums that they can talk. This is something which didn't exist in our time but exists now in their time. And become active.
Right.
Don't, become active in what's happening around you with your children. We're more concerned did they get an A+ in mathematics, they get an A+ in biology, but did they get an A+ in Gurmat? Did we give them an A+ in their devotion to Sri Guru Granth Sahib?
Right.
We don't think in those ways.
Right.
So we only push them to the material. We don't teach them to the spiritual.
So that is where we need to focus.
We have to have the balance. Without the balance, what do we have? Chaos.
Chaos. Thank you, Bhai Sahib.
Thank you ji. Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh.
ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਵੱਜੋ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣ। ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਇਨ ਥਾਟ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਆਉਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੋੜ ਸਕੀਏ, ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਸਕੀਏ ਕਿ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਜੋ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਾਂਚ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹੈ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਤਾਂ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਕਿਓਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਇਸੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਇੰਨੀ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪਿਰਿਚੁਅਲਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਇਹ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਾਈਏ। ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਸੇ ਸਾਈਟਸ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਕਿ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ ਲਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰਨ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਮਾਜ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾ ਸਕੀਏ।